about for MVP that just isn't getting enough love. And at number 4, I know the people in Los Angeles been waiting for this. This is what they wanted to see. They wanted to be back in the power rankings, and they are. They move up to number 4 this week. The Los Angeles Rams are balling. They are a complete team, top to bottom. They obviously have a genius coach. They have a defense that gets after your keister. If you don't remember, ask Tom Brady. And the young secondary that flies around and makes plays. I'm excited to watch this team each and every week. They have a chance to be the NFC representative in the Super Bowl because of the way they run the ball, the way Jared Goff has options to throw the ball on the outside, but it's about this defense. This is one of the best defenses in the league, and we saw that on Monday. And number 3, the Saints. They'd be higher if the other 2 teams weren't as good. The Saints have now shown you in 6+ games that they don't even need Drew Brees to win regular season games. Think about that. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. First ballot Hall of Famer. They played 6+ games without him in the last 2 years, and they've beaten every single team that they played. Why? Because they get to the quarterback. Look at that front. 8 sacks on Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. Lock up in the back end, and whether it's Taysom Hill, Teddy Bridgewater, or Drew Brees, they find ways at quarterback offensively because of Sean Payton. And at number 2, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I know, RC, why aren't they won? They're undefeated, and they are cold. I am a fan. I think they have a great chance to win the Super Bowl. They might even go undefeated, but there's still some things when you watch them, I'm like, but that. And so are they perfect in the record? Yes, but they're not a perfect team. There's still some things they got to get, but they just so dang good. TJ Watt, Bud Dupree, Cam Hayward, Rob Spillane, Minka Fitzpatrick, and then the weapons on the outside, Juju Smith-Schuster, Chase Claypool. Ben has a plethora of people to choose from when he want to get right, and he's been getting right often. And at number 1, it is the Kansas City Chiefs. And Zach asked me yesterday, or was it this morning? I don't know. We talked 17 times about doing one show for 2 hours and one segment for 2 minutes. What video you want? I said Mahomes. He reminds me of Dylan. Who are the top 5 rappers? Dylan, and that's who Patrick Mahomes is. It don't matter who they play. Doesn't matter how good you play. If you give this dude a chance to win, he's going to do it. 20 points, 11 points, 10 points. No lead is comfortable. No lead is safe. You're still on the sidelines, tight and tensed up, even when you're winning against Kansas City. Why? It ain't because of Andy Reid. We like him. He's a nice guy. He wears Tommy Bahama shirts. We love the landlord on the other side, collecting rent when rent is due and not fixing your stuff if he ain't got his money. But we all know, if you give Patrick Mahomes a chance, that's your tell, Mr. Postman, because the dog is coming.
And so there they are, RC's power rankings: Raiders, Rams, Saints, Steelers, and Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs at number 1. Let's get everybody in here. I find myself unable to argue. Go ahead. Who yelled Greeny?
No, I just said I'm right, Greeny. I'm right.
Oh, no,
I
think I thought
it's
someone yelled Greeny.
It's hard to argue with the list. I agree. I would probably do a similar list. But my question is the same question that I had all week. Like, what would have to happen? Is there anything, short of Patrick Mahomes getting hurt, is there anything that could happen that could vault the Steelers above the Chiefs, Ryan?
That's a good question, RC.
Kansas City would have to lose. If
They
Kansas
already
City
lost
is 15-1 and the Steelers are 16, they got to lose again. I need a 2-game picture by the Steelers need to show me that they can be perfect, and somebody else other than the Raiders need to show me that they can be Patrick Mahomes. I'm just saying.
Desmond Howard, what do you think? He's got. Go ahead, RC. What do you think? Excuse me, Desmond Howard. What do you think?
I think that's a good list. I'll go with KC being number 1 right now and the Steelers being number 2. I don't have a problem with that because Mahomes is the difference maker. He's the guy who you look at no matter what the score is, you always know you have a chance as long as Mahomes is out there on the football field. So I like the list. I will go Mahomes and KC over the Steelers right now.
Quickly,
I got another look at the list.
The Saints, I'm not sure about the Saints at number 3.
We're arguing about the list.
About the Saints.
Graziano, quick thought, go.
I still have the Chiefs over the Steelers. My issue is the back end. I would consider Buffalo over the Raiders at this point. I'd also think that Green Bay and Indianapolis are teams that deserve consideration. I'm not saying they didn't get consideration, but I'm not sure about the Raiders either.
All right.
You're wrong, Dan.
I like RC's list exactly
Haters.
the way he's got it. I will take
Had
a
to be
break here.
Dan.
We'll come back. Oh, I want to mention Tom Brady, who has made himself the most accomplished football player that ever lived by knowing the coverage before the defense did, is being confused by the coverage. So there are really two questions here. One is, should he be saying this? The second is he right? RC, let's start with the second one. Is what he just said right?
Greeny, way to steal my thunder. I was going to start this with, but did he lie? Because he didn't. He's absolutely right. We've seen all of these things. Tom Brady knows that we've seen these things. What we're not used to is people saying it. You got to realize he came from a coach who didn't really say anything, and now you're getting a coach that actually tells people exactly where you messed up. But isn't this what Tom Brady wanted, right? Tom Brady, we always talked about how Bill Belichick coached everyone the same. Well, Bruce Arians seems to coach everyone the same and talk about them in the media the same way. Like, this is part of it. Welcome to being a regular dude, Tom, on a regular team. But he has to get things fixed, and maybe Bruce is speaking to him through the media.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Now, he isn't a regular dude, obviously, on a regular team. But I understand the way you mean that. Dominique, I'm going to come back to you.
Well, on this team, he is regular, though, Greeny.
But he isn't, because he was the most sought-after free agent ever, and he's 43 years old, and he handpicked this spot based upon an opportunity. They all know what they're doing here, RC, right? This is one team trying to catch lightning in a bottle in a very short period of time and win this minute. So I understand what you mean, but
Greeny,
it feels different. Yeah.
Greeny, but they are dating, right? And they know that they're dating. They're looking for 2 or 3 really hot, really great dates, and then they're moving on. He's not trying to marry him. I don't have to develop a relationship with you to take you to Ruth Chris 2 times. And that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to go out and get a great steak and then move on in life. So he's not trying to do this thing for marriage. So I don't have to coddle you.
Okay,
If
so
we're
let me get everyone
continuing
in.
with this analogy, what is the Super Bowl in that point? I don't know. Never mind, Greeny. Answer your question.
Yeah, well, I just want to hear your perspective on this. If they're just dating, but we all know where they want this date to end, however way I can phrase that delicately, can they get there? Can they consummate this relationship the way this thing is going so far, Dominic?
I love it. It's a mess, and I love it. I do think that they can. I think they possibly can, because Tom Brady can be great in stretches. We've seen him several times this season play like that Tom Brady we saw back when he was with Randy Moss. The problem is they can't ask him to do it week after week after week. And when they get to the playoffs, they're going to have to win 4 games in a row. Maybe Tom Brady can come up with those big plays at certain moments of the game. They need to adjust their expectations for him and adjust their game plan accordingly. I think what Bill Belichick was doing last year was asking Tom Brady to be great in moments. Right now, the Bucs are asking him to be great all game. And I'm not sure that he can do that physically or mentally based on what Bruce Arians is telling us right now.
Desmond, jump in here. What are you seeing as you watch them? What do you think of all this?
Yeah. Let me give you some perspective right quick, Greeny. Now listen, RC likes to give you these examples, right? So let's say RC or Nick is great at making sweet potato pies, right? So they're going to invite her over tomorrow to make a sweet potato pie because she's the best ever at making these pies. So she gives RC or Nick a list of ingredients to buy. Boom, 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 boom. Buy these things. She comes to RC's or Nick's house tomorrow. She goes into the kitchen. She looks at the ingredients. She's like, now you bought all this stuff right here, and you want me to make, you say, a sweet potato pie, but you got ingredients for a pumpkin pie. You can't bring the greatest pie maker ever into your kitchen, and you let him pick the ingredients, and then all of a sudden you tell him, yeah, you got to make a pumpkin pie. No, you bring the greatest cook in there to make the sweet potato pie. That's what you do with Tom Brady. You don't want him out there making pumpkin pies. That's not what made him become great. He has to make sweet potato pies. You got him throwing the ball down the field all the time like Randy Moss is this guy. That ain't who he is. Let him do and make what he makes that made him great. Thank you, sir.
Perfectly said. That is perfectly said. That is the
Nobody eats pumpkin pie, though. Nobody eats pumpkin pie.
Go to the break.
Okay, let me leave it there for the moment.
Bernie
We're coming back with more.
I don't eat no damn pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie?
We're coming back as we continue.